Leadership can take a variety of forms, and no one knows that better than the 18 EC scholars that participated in Dr. Todd Fraley's Leadership Internship course during this semester. ECU's best and brightest upperclassmen interned with organizations across Greenville and beyond, each completing 60 hours of hard work and dedication to his or her organization. Some student internships were small in scope, but nonetheless important, even life-changing. Kevin Carney interned with the Pitt County Literacy Center.
The core of what made up my work was there's a woman named Dora Emma Paez who is from Colombia and is trying to become an American citizen. While the Pitt County Literacy Center has groups to help improve people's English skills, they don't really have a class that focuses on citizenship.
Kevin decided to start a class solely for citizenship tests to help Mrs. Paez.
It's not a give me to become an American, and she's really doing the extra effort and the work to do so. Which is actually something I found pretty inspiring. I guess it's important to realize that leadership isn't always a group. You always picture one man in front of 15 people or so, taking them on, but a lot of what I did was one-on-one. So I guess it emphasized the importance of being personable and being relatable, because a lot of times you see leadership as a person or an individual on a podium, but a lot of it necessitates just being one-on-one and equal with somebody.
While Kevin learned to lead one-on-one, others were learning to lead groups of people, coordinating citywide events. Jessica Jewell interned with the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation.
Our main event for JDRF in Greenville was the Walk to Cure Diabetes at the end of March. I actually got to go and represent JDRF and the walk with an interview with WITN. I also went to Pirate Radio. Not only am I working for this organization, so I wanted to see it be successful, but I'm benefiting from the funds that go towards this organization, because every single dollar raised and every single volunteer towards this organization means one step closer to a cure for diabetes for me and for millions of people across the world.
Lindsay Cadell worked with Riley's Army, an organization aimed at providing support to children with cancer and their families in eastern North Carolina.
We did the Pirate Treasure Night, which was our biggest fundraiser of the year. We got Coach Ruff out there to speak, a big silent auction, lots of community members, and 2 of our families spoke. We raised over $38,000 at the event, our gross total, and then our net total with all of our expenses taken out, it was about $17,000. So we did really well.
Although big events like the Walk to Cure Diabetes and the Pirate Treasure Night certainly make a positive impact for each organization, Lindsay says it's the little things that help her to develop positive leadership.
Delivering a meal to one of our kids in the hospital, taking a superhero coloring book, to one of our little boys, who's having a bad day. Those things really matter just as much as the big things. So I feel like it's changed my definition of leadership by making sure that I have attention to detail and attention to the little things that really make a difference.
Lindsay's work with Riley's Army is just one of the several organizations devoted to the support of cancer patients and their families that the scholars intern with this semester. Claire Howerton interned with the Brody and Leo Jenkins Cancer Survivorship Program, where she is busy coordinating the organization's Survivors Day event in June. The communication skills required for the internship influence Claire's definition of leadership.
Leadership to me is about making a difference with people, inspiring change, really by living through example, and also by engaging different groups of people and bringing people together.
Not only did the scholars bring people together during their internships, they also brought organizations together that would have otherwise been unconnected. Sandy Ross interned with the AmeriCorps America Education Program. Hannah Potter worked with Almexicon as the Latino Youth Education Coordinator, holding workshops about college preparation.
We've talked about a wide range of things like scholarships, college options, extracurricular resumes. And today Sandy came with AmeriCorps to talk about what they do.
Yeah, so I intern with AmeriCorps Migrant Education Program, and so I just came to kind of talk about how our program, Pathway to Scholarships, and the website they use, Edudaris, is a really easy tool to help students, and especially Hispanic students, just find scholarships that maybe they wouldn't have thought about otherwise.
Hannah and Almexicon were also able to connect with other scholars and their organizations. Monsi Trivedi interned with ENC Stop Human Trafficking Now.
Another EC scholar, Shana Mooney, she's working with the organization called the Mercedes Para Foundation, and they held an International Women's Day conference in Rockingham. I went and Hannah went as well, and I just did a presentation on human trafficking in Eastern North Carolina.
Their organizations didn't know about our organization, and we didn't know about them. So it was really nice to connect with other students and other organizations.
I think it shocked a lot of the women there that human trafficking is something that happens in the United States. I think it's really easy for us living here to just think, oh, human trafficking, that's something that happens, in those other third world countries. But no, it's something that's very much present here.
Both Monsi and Shayna's definitions of leadership changed during the course of their internships.
With my internship, it was a lot of me just personally learning and reflecting and, opening my mind, to this huge issue that, we're facing in this country of human trafficking, and then trying to spread that awareness to others, and being a leader in that sense.
I guess I always thought of a leader as, someone who's very well known, like Mahatma Gandhi or Martin Luther King, someone that a lot of people look up to, a lot of people know about. My internship supervisor is doing such amazing work by herself internationally, and this organization's not well known at all, but I definitely consider her a leader. She started this organization by herself because it was her passion. You don't have to take credit for it, you just do what you love, and that's being a leader, as long as you're making a positive impact.
Leading through doing what you love is evident in Dakota Johnson's work with Angels in Camo, a nonprofit organization that takes children with life-threatening illnesses and disabilities on hunting and fishing trips.
I've been so blessed to be a part of Angels in Camo. The founders, Lisa and Brian Adams, have been pouring into me these past few months, and they've definitely changed my view on leadership drastically. They're there every week at every event, leading, and their attitude and their passion for our organization is contagious. So I've definitely fed off of that, and it's not about sitting behind and ordering people around. It's about getting in there and leading from the front lines, being the change that you want to be.
Enacting positive change on the front lines can be seen in Jessie Cherico's internship at G.R. Whitfield Elementary, where she helped to promote literacy.
I'm working with children, so you can't it's not the kind of leadership where I can delegate tasks. It's more helping them have a role model.
While Jessie worked on the front lines of education, Kaylee Harrison took a more behind-the-scenes approach, creating a resource guide for parents and case managers under the Head Start program.
I realized that even though I'm not doing something huge, my small part of this organization and working with this organization is actually making a really big impact, because it's giving these families and these children another opportunity to better themselves.
Many internships were small parts of county-wide organizations, but they still made a significant impact. Destiny DeHart interned at the Pitt County Animal Shelter, where she created an orientation event for the shelter's volunteers.
As an intern, I can be a leader through helping the other volunteers or making small projects that can help long-term the program.
Ryan Balcom interned with the Community CPR program at Vidant Medical Center.
So this experience has changed my definition of leadership, because it showed me that you don't have to be in the very forefront or have to be leading a big group directly to be a leader. A lot of the work that we did in my group was kind of behind the scenes, or we might be working at a table at a health fair, something teaching CPR, and you don't really see direct results with that. It's not something that you can directly measure as, okay, we did a good job in our leadership or we did a good job in our teaching. But 5 years down the road from now, somebody who learned CPR from one of us might be able to use that CPR and save somebody's life.
Joshua Griffin worked behind the scenes at the Pitt County Health Department, where he created a document that consolidated all animal bite forms in North Carolina.
Even though I may not be serving a nation, I may not be leading a state, but I can work in a community and actually see real results.
The impacts the scholars made from their internship work are evident across much of the community. Georgiana Gower worked with the Exceptional Community Baseball League, where she did everything from work concessions to serve as a board member.
I know that I'm showing leadership by being in the concession stand and not being, in the spotlight, or I'm, just helping a child round the base or hit the bat. It doesn't have to be that I'm in the spotlight. I can kind of take a back seat and know that I'm still being a good leader in the community.
Tyler Hayden served as the Police Athletic League, or PAL's, social media intern, promoting the organization across a variety of online platforms.
There's other members of PAL that have greater responsibility than I do, but I've kind of realized that any role is important, even a smaller role such as a social media intern, and it's the ability for all of those smaller roles to come together to make the largest impact and meet the overall leadership goal.
Many of the scholars devoted hours and hours of their time to supporting youth within the community. Kofi Money interned at the Rocking Horse Ranch, where he was able to see the impact his work had firsthand.
Definitely the impact I've made on some of my riders, because some of them are like really young, but you can see a lot of improvement with you can see them feel a lot more comfortable on the horse, and other them developing more social skills. Like some of them, the first lesson they wouldn't talk, they wouldn't say, they just get on the horse and just kind of scream and yell. But now they're starting to do some of the activities, they're interacting a lot more, and it's been a big improvement.
Peyton Burnett worked as the main intern liaison between United Way and Building Hope, where she coordinated the Photo Voice project.
And the project is basically something that United Way has started where they give a grant to different nonprofit organizations so that their kids can get cameras, and they use these cameras to go around and basically make a photo journal about their life. And it's a way for the kids that are in marginalized situations to learn how to express themselves, and also for people to see the pictures that they take and have kind of an insight into what their life is like.
So basically tonight is our final art show. The girls have been working all semester on all of their pieces, and we're partnering with 3rd Street Community Center and United Way and Building Hope, and all of our supporters and our sponsors and our friends and family are just coming out to support these wonderful girls and all the hard work they've done over the semester. We're just celebrating their accomplishments tonight.
My definition of leadership keeps changing as I meet really, really interesting people and interesting leaders. I think in order to be a good leader, you first have to be a servant. I think you have to be the first one willing to get your hands dirty and to take on majority of the work. I think being a leader, in general, you need to be able to inspire other people to take on the same level of passion that you have about what you're trying to do.